So, Rachel, coming into the final weekend of the season, unbeaten so far in 2018. The last sort of 6-7 games have gone really, really well.
Yeah, they have. They have. Yeah, I think we've had a massive shift in terms of our performances. I think that's reflected on each week in when we started the season. We've been learning a little bit more about how we play, how different players work together, different combinations of players, and I think that's really that kind of continuity and that's really kind of been solidified in the last couple of performances. I think, like I say, those results are massive for us and something we're really proud of, and we'll take a lot of confidence into Loughborough next week.
Of course, when I last spoke to you, it was literally 2 minutes after the final whistle against Quins, and you were absolutely buzzing at that point. But then there was the tricky trip up to Waterloo, wasn't there? And in its own way, that was just as challenging as the Quins game.
Yeah, do you know what? It really was, and there was a lot of emphasis on that game, purely because obviously, you know, Saracens and Harlequins were two massive games, but really we're the underdogs in that, and given the reflections in the table, we were the favourites to win against Waterloo. So I think that expectation actually was something maybe we got a little bit nervous about, and the expectation that we should be winning. And Waterloo are a fantastic side. They've been together for years, and it's a long old trip up to Waterloo, and they did put on a really, really physical, dominant performance for us, but something that took us a little while to break down. So credit to Waterloo on that performance, because they really did stick at it, and they're a quality side in the TP15s. So that was a big game in terms of just making sure that we do a job and we go on to the next battle, which is going to be with Loughborough.
Of course, you were one of the girls who started that very first game, seems ages ago now, up at Darlington Moden Park Sharks on the first weekend, and obviously you've been almost an ever-present. How far do you think the team has progressed as a whole since that week one?
Yeah, I think it has been massive. I think that kind of confidence, like I say, that we've kind of really built on, and we have had quite a few changes in personnel through sort of international call-up, maybe injuries, or maybe tactical substitutions and things like that. So the team has varied this season, but actually that shows the level of competitiveness that it is for the first team shirts. You know, we've got a fantastic two side, obviously playing Cheltenham this weekend, and they really push for first team shirts, and so that only means that our first team is going to be kind of, like I say, those girls are on our heels for a first team shirt, so that quality that they bring kind of drives us to be better as well. So it's a competitive environment, but one that means that the standard only gets better, and I think, like I say, that is reflected in the performances that we've had in the last couple of weeks against the big teams.
And in terms of Loughborough, last time you played them back in December, it's 43-33, almost like Barbarians rugby. Gloucester-Hartpury took the lead, but then Loughborough came back in the second half. A similarly stressful game won't do much for Susie's blood pressure, will it?
No, she does. She says that after every game that we need to, stop stressing her out at the end of the games, because we do like to cut it fine sometimes. But that was a hugely physical performance from Loughborough, and one that we probably squandered our own kind of mistakes, and that's kind of why we probably lost that game, was through our own mistakes and own errors. So if we can cut them out and be a bit more clinical, hopefully, again, and say, building on the confidence that we've taken from the last run of performances in 2018, I think that's going to be what we need to take into that fixture, and hopefully rewrite the wrong that we need to get that win against Loughborough.
And finally, so many of the girls either work here or are students here. When it comes to Loughborough a week on Saturday, wouldn't it be great to have as many of the students as possible down here cheering their team on? Yeah,
exactly. It's going to be a massive game. We need all the support we can get, and we really enjoy playing down here and at Kingsholm, and making that somewhere that the opposition fear to come and play against. And so as much support would be fantastic as possible, and that home support is always a good advantage for us.